most epic. No parking, no parking, no parking. In 2020, I was diagnosed with stage 4 laryngeal cancer. I followed that up with having a laryngectomy procedure, which is the removal of your vocal cords and the separation of your trachea and your esophagus. Since then, I've done a podcast and what I can do to give back to the cancer community. Now I'm on a venture to see the world, and I'm taking you along with me. Joining me as always will be my wife, Melonie, and our little puppy, Moonshine. This is A Lary in a While. So, we are in Pulaski, New York, and we are about to do the Revolutionary War Scenic Byway. Now, why it ends or begins in Pulaski ends, I don't understand. Nothing happened here for the Revolutionary War. In fact, this town is named after a Revolutionary War soldier, but they drew his name from a hat. The guy's from Poland.
He was a Poland revolutionary and the father of the cavalry, the American cavalry. So, let it be known that we are doing this backwards. You're supposed to start in Albany in the Schenectady area and work your way this way, but we live over this way, so we didn't want to go that way and then come back that way and then that. Yeah, right. We didn't want to do all that.
And this byway was just created a couple of years ago, so there's going to be no signs, really. There's going to be nothing to let us know. We were doing this the old-fashioned way, Google MapQuest. Like,
I literally had to get on and write down the instructions, the directions. There is nothing on this anywhere. I think it's newly created, like 2021. They started it in like the early 20 teens and finished it in 2021. I don't see a lot of signs for it. I don't see it. So basically we're traveling from Pulaski down to Schenectady through Rome and Ithaca, over down via the 5 into Schenectady. And we keep in mind also, it's Labor Day. Nothing is open.
Yeah, nothing's open, or else we could have stopped. I mean, we could still swing by a couple battlefields. It won't matter, but just we won't be able to go into any of the museums or anything like that.
Not unless they're privately owned and happen to be open today.
So this video is going to be pretty much driving. It's going to be the scenic. So if you like scenery and driving and all that good stuff, you're going to love it, because we're going to be coming from Pulaski, which is relatively flat,
Lake Ontario,
to go into Albany area, which has a lot of hills. So we're going to be cutting through the Adirondacks pretty much.
Yes.
So if you want to see that, stick around. And of course, as always, we got the pain in the ass Moonshine with us, and she'll be coming up with the facts. It's a good thing that she knows things.
Smarter than us.
Yeah, we're dumb. So let's get this travel on the way. It starts here at Pulaski. It says Ontario, but there's not much room. There's a lighthouse. We're going to see that real quick.
You stay.
So before this was Pulaski, New York, it was what? Fishkill and Salmon Creek?
Salmon River, New York.
River.
I believe Salmon River. This is an old...
It's a great fishing area. If you like fishing salmon, you would love Pulaski area. This area, Fulton area, is really good for lake salmon.
It's a pretty area. You can tell it's older.
It's old town. That lighthouse back there was built in 1900.
Selkirk. You got video of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
The only thing that's different is, like, my voice is lower because it's farther away, and I don't travel well through my neck.
You don't travel well through your neck? Well, I would hope not. So we're going to take a right here and then take a left on 13. I do find it particularly funny.
Yes, we live right off of Route 13 down in the Ithaca area. So it's kind of funny that we just traveled an hour and a half to get back on the road that we live on pretty much.
Yeah, one block off. Bethel Community Center, built in 1848. This is the Salmon River.
Salmon.
Yeah, you're gonna say it right. Salmon.
Yeah, there's a lot of fishing going on right now, man. I'm kind of jealous. See, it says Port Ontario, but there's no port. Water does leave that in Ontario, though. And now we are turning onto 13 South. I'm going to wait for the light because I'm a responsible driver.
Dumb bitch.
Sure. No.
Get everybody settled here. Big bird.
Speed limit sign would be most epic. No parking, no parking, no parking, no parking.
No other signs about historic, and there wasn't even a sign there about the Revolutionary Scenic Byway.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's so new that I don't think they have had time yet to put up the signs. So I don't know what speed limit is, so I'm just going to do 55 up for the best.
I thought it was like 55 until we got to back where we were.
No parking. They really don't want anybody parking.
Wow.
The thing is, when the salmon runs, it is fucking busy up here. It is, like I said, it's a great salmon spot, and it's really popular for salmon fishing. So I can see people probably parking way up here and walking down.
Yeah.
Like there's parts of the Salmon River where people will be like shoulder to shoulder.
Can you imagine Revolutionary War soldiers? At one point they marched across this.
Right.
I'm trying to get into that thought process.
Like, I've always wondered, so the battles in the Adirondacks and like Elmira at Newtown, carrying a goddamn cannon up a mountain.
Right.
You know, and having a time limit of when you can do it. Like, you have to do it by this time because the army will be there this day.
There's all these little lodges along here owned by the same company. That's kind of cool. Where I've got my instructions. 13 to Camden. Just so you know, I did my homework as much as I could because this was kind of a quick decision. And we're thankful we didn't go to the state fair last night.
Yeah, apparently last night at the state fair, they thought they had a mass shooting going on. So they could shut the fair down earlier. There was mad panic and everything else. So I'm kind of glad we didn't do that.
Yeah. Thank you, Steffi, for,
Right, sucks that Steph is sick. Glad we didn't go. Then again, think of the views.
Yeah.
Think of the title, the clickbait I could have made for that. Oh, we got shot at the fair.
Look at this old house.
Now, there's a lot of scenic byways in New York. We have a bunch.
And I kind of trying to talk him into doing a little scenic byway.
If you guys want to see a scenic byway playlist where we just go scenic byways or driving around in general like this format, let us know down in the comments and I'll be more than happy to make it.
I'll be more than happy to push him to go for a drive. It's one of my favorite things to do. Taylor Marie's ice cream. I have questions. See, now my son is Taylor, and I just assume boys are Taylors.
I mean, nowadays, the only thing everybody thinks about is Taylor Swift. Are you gonna pull out in front of me?
This is Selena.
What the hell, dude? Yo, the way you people drive in Alaska is stupid. Just like you know. That is the reason since we've been in this town, you pull out.
Right, and it's been in this town.
Yeah, just this town. I've never seen anything like it. And I've driven in Florida.
I am looking hard for signs about the Scenic Byway.
They haven't seen crap.
Nope. So as far as I'm concerned, this is just a pretty drive.
A long park.
Oh yeah, always. And I'll try to. I wanted to do a little more research on it, just because I didn't see a whole lot on it. And
what's up, guys? So I'm in the middle of out here walking moonshine, and so a little update. In the middle of doing the editing on that, somehow all my files came corrupted, so I can't finish the episode. It's kind of frustrating, but at the same time, sounds about right. So, enjoy this little bit of Waterfall. I was going to make this its own video, but decided since this happened, I'll just make it at the end of this video. So this is my favorite spot in Ithaca. This is Ithaca Falls, aka Fall Creek Falls. And, yeah, have a good day. So there used to be a bunch of mills here back in 1830s. Ezra Cornell ended up buying this property, and he drilled a cave behind the falls that we're going to, and he diverted water to all these mills using a bunch of viaducts that were made out of concrete, and that's what those things are right here. That led to that building that was the mill, part of one of the many that was here. At one time, there were so many mills here that Fall Creek area was considered its own little village.
come on, Moon.
All right, let's go into the bridge first. See, there used to be a trail right there that you could follow behind all those bushes to get to a cave that was right here. No, we got people here.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
They kind of blocked it off, so it makes it hard to get to. But underneath that bridge right there, there used to be a tunnel that all of us would play into. We would dare each other. We would dare each other to go to the farthest end of the tunnel because it was so dark and long, and we were like 10. So it was like a big deal for us. But really all it was is an access area so they can reach the boats and stuff. They used to come up and down to Fall Creek area back when this was in the industrial. The mills they did here were mostly local cranes, but they did enough here that they were able to supply other places. So they were selling the grain. And like I said earlier, they were doing enough that at one point Fall Creek was its own little village. And it was all by Ezra Cornell, the same person that started Cornell University, which is a very controversial thing here right now. But yeah, this is Fall Creek area. Us locals will call this Fall Creek Falls. It's literally called Ithaca Falls, Ithaca Gorge. Let's work our way to the falls. It's going to be tricky to try getting over there, and I'm too old to want to care with a dog and a camera. I ain't doing it. The geographic of this place changes every time it floods really bad. Like, there was different trails here when I was a kid. And, like, these are all different from when, you know, that era. So every time we have a really good flood, it changes the geography of the place. That's why if you're not from here, and you come here, you don't come when it's raining. That's stupid. When the water's flowing, there's usually a waterfall here too. But the water's pretty dry at the moment. So when the water's flowing, there'll be a little waterfall here out the side that comes down and then it'll flow out. So, and it was a lot more when I was younger. When I was younger, there was a little creek here you had to jump over. But apparently the water is not flowing like it used to, which is pretty sad. This place means a lot to me. I spent a lot of my childhood here. You know, my mom lived probably about 4 blocks from here. And I lived about 8 or 9 blocks from her. But a lot of my childhood memory is me and my brother and friends coming here every day. Winter, summer, it didn't matter. We were here every day. We would swim, fish, race out, just be teenagers. It was great. I don't know when they started this. When I was a kid, we used to scale part of it. That's probably why they got that there. Now that I know, I'll get some stickers made up for Lary in the Wild. I mean, to give you a scale, it's pretty tall. You can see all these river rocks everywhere. And it's all getting washed up, washed away. It changes all the time. It's really good fishing in there, though, man. This leads to the lake, so a lot of trout will come in there. I think salmon come in there. I don't know. I've never salmon fished. If you ever salmon fished in there, let me know. Nice little area. When I was a kid, there was no trees right there. All the woods was right here. And then in '93, we had a flood right after the blizzard of '93. Anybody remembers that? We had a gigantic flood here, and it wiped out this entire thing. It blew my mind as a kid to see all the trees ripped away, and it just was bare river rock. It was nuts. As a kid, we had a rope that went to a tree right there, and you could swing out over the gorge. It was stupid, but we did it all the time. So when I first brought Mel here, it was wintertime, and it was
He always does this shit to me.
And I flew her into Ithaca, and yeah, it was the middle of February, and we had just gotten like 2 feet of snow. It was a good time.
Not for the girl from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Also Florida.
Yeah, she wasn't used to that, but it was a pretty thing, man. And like I said, this is a special place to me. This was my moment of zen every time I needed it. I would come here and sit out in the middle of it and just float, do a back float, staring up at the top of the gorge. There would usually be a hawk flying around. And you'd hear the beauty of the water hitting the falls, from the falls hitting the water. And it was just majestic. It was great. If I could do anything as a laryngectomy, that's the one thing I would do, is just swim this one more time. Even though it's technically not allowed anymore.
It's full of chemicals from Ithaca gun, various other things. Yeah. There's a guy who has, oh God, what? Oh.
Don't worry, it's clean water. You can drink that.
Right? This guy's trying to get around. I don't know what he's trying to do.
I don't know either.
Bless his heart. Anyway. Yeah, it was cold the first time. I have pictures. We'll throw those up. And I remember coming here going, oh, okay, if this is my introduction to Ithaca, I'm really going to enjoy it here. So I really do. I think Ithaca is one of the prettiest places I've ever lived, and that's a lot. So enjoy the views.
So that rock right there came from that spot right there. I started going out there and having a laryngectomy.
I was waiting for that.
Come on, Bubs. What a good girl.
Man, I haven't done this since school. That's the entrance you come in. Looked like they destroyed a lot of it. They had a remodel here. Yeah, they're not going to let you get to the rest of it.
Up. Good girl. No. Stay. Move. Stop.
No,
Stop. Sit.
We would climb this trail.
Whew.
We would actually go across that. And then up that way. And it would lead you to Ithaca gun. But in 2004, I think it was, they found lead contamination. Ithaca gun had lead contamination from testing their bullets and stuff. So they had to do a whole thing with the EPA. And when I say a whole thing, I mean a whole thing. Soil removal. They had to tear down the Ithaca gun, historic Ithaca gun building. There was a lot of problems with the lead contamination, which is nice to know because I swam there every day for Anyway, explains things, right? Now, when you go and look up Ithaca Falls on the YouTubes, on the Google machine,
On the Doodle?
yeah, a lot of things that are going to show up are not Ithaca Falls. Ithaca
A
Falls.
lot. We
Yeah.
looked today. Everywhere we looked, they kept calling Teganic Falls, Ithaca Falls.
It's at Trumansburg.
Right. There are some. Now, Henry tries to get technical and say that's not in the area. Yeah, there's about 500,000 of them. In Ithaca alone, there are like 7.
No, in Ithaca, there's 150 waterfalls.
Right.
There's 3 gorges. Each gorge has a series of waterfalls. They count waterfalls if they're like a foot high. And we have many. I got potholes that have waterfalls.
Wait till you see the one coming out of this parking lot.
Well, this parking lot's not really meant for us. I mean, it is, but it's that the city doesn't maintain it. This property used to be all owned by Cornell until like 2000. So, and back then, Cornell didn't really do anything with this place at all. Like, there wasn't even a trail down there except for what we made, us people, the locals. So, and like where the mill building used to be, like us high schoolers would break out the wall and just hang out there and party, and like nobody did anything. There was a tunnel underneath the bridge, same thing, man. We used to dare each other to go to the end of the tunnel. I bet you won't go to the end because it was so dark and scary as a kid. And then later on, we would party in it. You know, people would get injured here a lot because they're stupid. I've swam here all my life, never had a problem. Where's my story? But what you hear about is the dumbass people coming from Cornell. You come from out of state. You see the water rushing like crazy and you jump in. No. Today would have been a good day to swim. If you see the gunk on top of the water,
Yeah.
it's usually a good time to go.
Ew.
It works. And like I said, man, there was a lead contamination here by Ithaca Gun. And so like nobody really swims here anymore. Now they're really enforcing no swimming in the gorges because, you know, Cornell kids ruined it. That and the ones that decided they no longer want to be compatible with life. That's another one. So, but that's a whole different topic on its own.
Which is very common in this area.
They don't make the grade, they leap. It happens, man. You know, and on top of the gorge there's that little house I showed you. Where we might drive by it and get some footage of it at some point. That was Carl Sagan's house. And Carl Sagan is like a legend here. He taught at Cornell. He lived here. He was a big part of the community here. So like around here, Carl Sagan's like a god. And then the next one is Rod Serling. He used to live here. He used to teach here. He's from Binghamton, New York. Maybe we'll do a video on that too. Comment down below if you want to see a video about like Carl Sagan or Rod Serling.
Like and subscribe. I got it right this time.
Like and subscribe.
Subscribe
Yeah,
and
guys,
share.
The best,
As always, make friends.
the best way to support the channel is to like, share, comment. The more views we get, the more we can do this kind of stuff. And the better the quality we'll get too. So
Eventually.
keep that in mind. Like I'm doing this all out of pocket. We're just having fun for now.
Yeah. It's him showing me areas that he really loved growing up and me talking him into dumb things that turn out to be fun adventures in the long run, eventually, after we bitch a little bit.
Right? If you want to see some more of the falls in Ithaca, there's plenty. Let me know in the comments, man, and we will go explore for you. And we'll also go explore Teganic, which is not Ithaca, New York. That is technically Trumansburg, New York. It's about 10 minutes outside Ithaca. Give Trumansburg your damn props. They deserve
Ithaca
it.
adjacent.
Yes. Ithaca area. It's Tompkins.
Metro Ithaca.
So until the next one, guys, have a good one.